All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm asking you one question today, probably more. Do you even Zilliqa, bro? Zilliqa is a new, sort of like Ethereum, a smart contract that is much more capable than Ethereum, has been rocketing in price lately. So those of you that are holding on to Zilliqa, we're all having a pretty good time. So let's just take a look just a little bit ago in April, March-ish. It's about 3 cents. Now we're sporting well over 20 cents. So that's like 7 times the difference. So anybody that has put in thousands of dollars, even hundreds of dollars, whatever amount, has just increased it by about 7 times. So very good, and I don't think it's done just yet. So Zilliqa misses the moon, hits Andromeda after BitHum OKX listing. So Zilliqa, a cryptocurrency that boasts a blockchain with an extraordinarily high transaction rate, surged today as both its value and trade volume exploded following its listings on OKX and BitHum. So as part of its listing on BitHum, people trading and depositing it from today until March 16th will get 1% back on their transactions at the beginning of next month. This also applies to Ethos, the second cryptocurrency that the exchange listed. So right after the announcement was made, Zilliqa went up with a vengeance from a value of 18 cents to a peak of 23, a whopping 28% increase. It's cooled down a bit since, hovering at around 20 cents, giving a still respectable 11% increase. Its trading volume, however, shot up almost 5 times, 5 times, from roughly 153 million yesterday to over 745 million at the time this report was written. So Zilliqa may have benefited significantly from these two exchanges' announcements, but the truth is that the cryptocurrency has been on a rampage since March, with its trajectory going almost vertical since May 5th. The coin achieves its brilliant blockchain velocity due to sharding, which is a concept that Vitalik Buterin has been pondering for a while to address the scaling issue in many coins' infrastructure. So as it exists right now, Zilliqa is an ERC20 token, but the team said this won't be the case for very long, as the coin will be going native later this year once it gets its mainnet platform up and running. Sharding has been around actually before, I think a little bit before Bitcoin, the whole idea of it, and so Zilliqa uses sharding, and Ethereum is a little bit behind on that. Ethereum was kind of the first smart contract to come around-ish, and so that's why it holds the market cap that it does. I do think that one day Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin. I think it's going to be a little while yet, but I think it will one day, and I think one day, you know, the one main coin, not to necessarily rule them all, will come about. So if Ethereum doesn't scale better than it does now, I think Zilliqa may beat it sooner or later, and that's going to be pretty huge. So again, as I said in the article, from about March, it's been going pretty strong here. And it initially started out a lot higher, and then it dipped down during the terrible time that it sort of came about. You know, in January, but and then dipped along with all the other currencies. But now it's going up pretty exponentially, further than most cryptos are around now. So this is an interesting article. It's very unfortunate. 5 years ago, Wired Magazine called Bitcoin an abstraction, destroyed their wallet keys, and now can't access 120,000 worth of Bitcoin. So if you follow tech news, you definitely know what Wired is. So, you know, we won't get into that for a long time. Wired is a source of info for me. I enjoy reading a lot of their articles, and I honestly thought that these people can recognize innovation when they see it. It turns out I was wrong. So this is from the writer's point of view. This is a Steemit article. I will put all these articles in the description below. And because I'm using a Steemit article, I would prefer that you guys all upvote this article. Because why not? You know, if I'm going to read it, I'm going to share it. So in 2013, Wired wrote an article about a Bitcoin miner from Butterfly Labs. They set up a live stream of the mining operation with this small box that burns less energy than a light bulb and didn't know what to do with the money they will make. Somehow, they came to a conclusion that it's best to destroy the wallet access keys and leave it there because Bitcoin is an abstraction and nothing more. Oh, ouch. But in the end, the answer was obvious. The world's most popular digital currency really is nothing more than an abstraction. So we're destroying the private key used by our Bitcoin wallet that leaves our growing pile of Bitcoin lucre locked away in a digital vault for all eternity. Or at least until someone cracks the SHA-256 encryption that secures it, which I highly doubt that will happen anytime soon. If you've ever looked at any visualizations of the SHA-256 encryption and how much processing power and how long it would actually take for somebody to crack it, it's basically like the length of the universe and the power of like 2 stars crammed together and then just make that into a computer. That's how hard it would be to crack SHA-256, literally. So who would have known that this abstraction will one day be worth 120,000? In this particular case, certainly not a tech journalist that can't recognize the potential in new technology. Ouch. Sick burn. Oh, the writer of this. So let's go ahead and upvote this. And thank you for your article, Proof Master. I think this is the second article I have read of yours, so keep it up. You're doing pretty well. And, of course, your income on Steam also doing pretty well as well. So, warning, this app is stealing Bitcoin. So I made a video on this several weeks ago about the Electrum Pro Bitcoin wallet. So there's Electrum wallet, which is a great wallet. It's not a core wallet. So if you have Electrum Vertcoin or Electrum Litecoin, Electrum Bitcoin, anything like that. So if you have an Electrum wallet, it's not a node wallet. It's not a, it doesn't download the entire blockchain to your computer. So it's not a core wallet, if you will. It really just queries the blockchain and then finds your coins on the blockchain or just stores your coins, etc. So it's really nice for a lot of people that don't have a lot of space or a lot of time on their computers. Maybe don't have an extra computer to store the core wallet on. That's fine. So Electrum is pretty great. I use Electrum. I have, I think, 4 or 5 Electrum wallets. And along came Electrum Pro, and there was a Twitter on it. So you can actually look up my older video if you would like. You just simply search it on my channel. And they came along saying that they were better than Electrum Wallet, and they had nothing to do with actually Electrum whatsoever, and there was warnings against them, and I made a video on it. Turns out, I was right for the, let's see, the 35th time. The development team, Electrum, has been since trying to alert users the possibility that Electrum Pro is a fake. According to Electrum, the counterfeit platform has been cloning its brand image, even going as far as creating a website on the .com domain. So it's essentially a copycat. So electrum.org is the real site. And then there's electrum.com, which you get Electrum Pro from and get screwed over. So Electrum's wallet is blah, blah, blah. We do not own electrum.com, and Electrum Pro is very likely Bitcoin stealing malware. So I mentioned this tweet in that video as well a little while back. So in April, Electrum alerted users to the fake platform via a tweet. The fact that the counterfeit service chose to use their brand name without any permission raised red flags. The team then set about trying to prove its suspicions and has finally done so in a recent GitHub document. And so I really like that on the Bitcoin Pro Twitter, they were like, Electrum Pro 4.0.2 is out. And you're like, well, why would you start with 4.0 at first? Like, that seems like a red flag. So I think they just basically said that to make it seem like the software has been out for a while. So instead of using 1.0 or like 0.08 or something like that would normally you would see, they just went right with 4.0. Like, yeah, 4.0. That makes it sound super legit. Proof of Bitcoin stealing malware. On May 8th, Electrum posted a tweet declaring that they had evidence that Electrum Pro was a malicious copycat platform. Also, the team published the hash of the alleged fake wallet with independent verification. In the GitHub document detailing the elaborate scam, the Electrum Pro wallet appears infected with a malware that steals the private seed key of users. Seed keys are cryptographic keys that grant access to the Bitcoin stored in a wallet. So it's usually your cryptographic seed key is like, it'll say like tree and boy and ball, and you put all those words together, and then that creates your seed key. So seed keys are usually mnemonic phrases. So when a user manages any of their Bitcoin addresses via Electrum Pro, their seed key is automatically hacked, sent to the fake electrum.com domain. So again, electrum.com is the fake one. You want to go, if you want an Electrum wallet, you go to electrum.org. So once this happens, an unauthorized person can access the user's funds, steal all the Bitcoin. So the platform also advises users who have inadvertently used Electrum Pro to delete the program and move their Bitcoins immediately. Electrum users are urged to avoid downloading binaries from unofficial sources to prevent becoming victims of scams like Electrum Pro. So don't use that. This is really interesting. So let me just refresh this. And I just want you guys to watch this. This is really cool. Whoever made this, it took a long time. So this is basically the market evolution since the 1st of 2017. So you can see Bitcoin here is about 85%, 86%, pretty much dominating the entire crypto market. And as we reach about March, we can see the Ethereum explosion there. And we can even see Litecoin developing quite a bit. XRP, Ripple is developing pretty fast. Dash as well. And woo-wee, we are moving along. And as you can see, Bitcoin over time is now sharing less of the market. So this just goes to show, this is actually a really good visualization that kind of not necessarily proves my point that I think Ethereum or some other coin will take over in the future, but that Bitcoin, but it does. It shows quite a bit that, or at least, close to it. I'm sort of stumbling on my own words here, but you can see that, Bitcoin does shrink and expand and shrink and expand. And other coins are getting bigger over time. As you can see, Miota there, which is now IOTA, also getting pretty big there. ADA, Cardano. So very interesting image. I will put that image in the description below as well. So if you guys want to just stare at this for like a half an hour, just don't mind me. The video will play on for half an hour. Kidding. Come on, guys. Get real. ASIC resistance cryptocurrency projects aiming to be ASIC resistant have little success. So I've been talking about this for a while that, Ethereum and Equihash are supposed to be somewhat ASIC resistant. But as I always said, I'm not much, obviously I'm not a hardware manufacturer. I'm not a hardware engineer. But here's the difference. An ASIC just does the same thing very efficiently over and over and over again. So if you change an algorithm, you can no longer hash with that ASIC. That ASIC is junk now, essentially. Well, it's not junk. It can still hash other coins within that algorithm. But if you change your coin a little bit, you change the algorithm of your coin or just a little bit, and it can no longer hash it because it can't be programmable. It's not a programmable thing at all, just like your computer. I'm moving around my computer here a little bit, my desk rather. So with your GPU is very dynamic, and it can just do whatever it wants. So it can hash Kryptonite, it could hash Equihash, it could hash 256 if you really wanted to, even though it would be horribly unprofitable, but it could do whatever it wants. So the difference is that an ASIC doesn't really have much memory. It has the absolute base minimum memory possible to run SHA-256 or to this algorithm or that algorithm. It uses as little memory as possible. Whereas your GPUs have a ton of memory. So if you have a 1080 Ti, you have like 11 gigabytes, or more, you have 1070 or something with like 8 gigabytes. So you have a lot of memory on a GPU, especially if you have 4 or 5 GPUs in your computer. Then you're supporting a ton of memory individually on GPUs, of course. So the difference is really the memory, a bit of programming, obviously, a bit of hardware, but so really the only difference is like when they went to create an Ethereum miner, they have to put a ton of RAM into it. You have to have a ton of RAM for Ethereum and Equihash. It's very RAM intensive. So really, if you can just make an ASIC miner and then slap a ton of RAM in there, and you've made enough money in your corporation to now use like a economy of scale and be able to buy all this RAM for very, very cheap, put it into your ASIC miners, poof, you have an Ethereum and an Equihash miner. So I think Lyra 2 is next, or will be one of the next ASICs to come out. So just recently, the Bitcoin Gold developers announced the project consensus algorithm Equihash was threatened in a blog post, a response to the ASIC threat. In the post, the Bitcoin Gold's project team members explained that they might change the cryptocurrency's current Equihash algorithm due to the launch of the Antminer Z9 mining rig. The firm Bitmain Technologies has once again produced a device that breaks the mold of digital currency networks that claim to be ASIC resistant. So again, Lyra 2 also claims to be very ASIC resistant. But here's the thing. All you need is an ASIC miner with a bunch of RAM, and that's fair enough. And that's it for the most part. Last year, a project called Bitcoin Gold forked a Bitcoin Core protocol in hopes of creating a more fair and decentralized mining environment that would remain ASIC resistant. Bitcoin Gold project basically cloned the Bitcoin code base and changed the consensus algorithm from SHA-256 to Equihash, a popular mechanism used by the digital asset Zcash and others. NVIDIA is very good at Equihash. So are AMD, but NVIDIA is just a little bit better, whereas AMD is typically a little bit better at Ethereum and CryptoNote. So the dream of a one CPU, one vote network. So Equihash's mining rig that's been released to the public threatens the dream of a one CPU, one vote network. So the mining rig manufacturer Bitmain has caused a stir throughout the multiple cryptocurrency communities by launching various miners. So this year, the process algorithm most thought were ASIC resistant. The latest Z9 Mini was announced on May 3rd, cost $2,000 and 10,000 souls on Equihash for only 300 watts, which is the most one of the most efficient things I've ever heard of. It would take about 15 GTX 1080 Ti's to make 10,000 souls, maybe like 14 or 13, somewhere around there though, ballpark estimate. So, you know, if you were to buy all of those at about $1,000 a piece, maybe a little less if you could find them a little cheaper, you know, you're looking at well over $10,000 for, you know, you could just pay $2,000. And now that's not even the end of it. So 300 watts for this machine to run, you know, close to 15 1080 Ti's would be tremendous, would be way more than 300 watts. I mean, we're talking at that point, you could say 7,500 watts, something like that. You would need a lot. It's about 250 watts a piece. So no, not even close to 7,500. Over 3,000 watts. I'm not going to do the math in my head on here, but either way, you can see the difference is like tenfold, completely different. So, you know, these developers are now trying to essentially just switch up their algorithm just a little bit, just like Kryptonite did. So Kryptonite switched to Kryptonite v7. They just sort of just tweaked their coin just a little bit, and now it cannot be mined by the ASIC miners that were made by Bitmain. So, which was the A3 miner, I believe. I can't remember its name offhand. But, however, that ASIC miner can still mine the old CryptoNote algorithms, which a lot of Moneros split off. I think there's now like 4 or 5 Moneros, the majority of which stayed on the original algorithm. And there's also Bytecoin and various other algorithms that can be mined with it, but not the big one, not Monero. So I'm a Buffett disciple, but he's wrong about Bitcoin. So Buffett described Bitcoin investment as a scumball activity, while Bill Gates stated that he would short Bitcoin if there was an easy way to do it. There is an easy way to do it. I just don't think you want to do it. Wow. This guy said one of the things that they have said for years, and which I believe is you define a circle of competence and you stay within it. He pointed out that while Buffett was exceptional in his area, Bitcoin is out of his comfort zone. The only tech company he invests in is Apple, and he was famously against the idea of e-commerce during the tech boom. Something like Bitcoin is really important because it's not correlated to the market, said the former executive of Facebook, this guy here, because it's not correlated. Excuse me, the majority of people view it as a hedge to the traditional infrastructure. All of these financial assets in the traditional markets are all fundamentally correlated. We see that in 2007, we broke everything down, and we thought where hedges went away. In response to a comment from one interviewer saying, there's a lot of scum in the crypto world right now, but this guy, I'm not even going to pronounce his name, simply shut him down, saying, I think it's really unfair to not understand something and then disparage it. He pointed out that the things change, and that it was unrealistic to expect an older person to keep up with emerging technology, as well as a younger market entrants raised with that technology. So that's what I'm always saying. Old men hating on Bitcoin because they simply just don't understand it. And that's okay. You know, to some degree, that's okay. But Buffett, you know, and all these guys that have been bashing Bitcoin, Jamie Dimon, etc., they're all extremely, whether you like them or not, they are extremely influential people in the investment world. I mean, they have made billions of dollars in the investment world. Like, these guys don't mess around. If you want somebody who's going to make you a lot of money, it's going to be Jamie Dimon or Buffett, plain and simple. But they just don't under crypto, and that's okay. They can stick with their fiat and fall behind. That's fine with me. So Mt. Gox Cold Wallet moves 8,200 Bitcoin. Will Bitcoin dump again? The transaction for Mt. Gox Cold Wallets occurred in the early hours of the morning, and our proprietary Telegram bot was quick to inform us of the change in balance to the Mt. Gox wallets. The transactions were sent to the address such and such and totaled 8,214 Bitcoin, which is around 76 million at press time. So you can view the wallet on this blockchain site if you wish. During the past week, events in the crypto space have brought a mixture of FUD and FOMO, with Buffett calling Bitcoin rat poison, his associate Munger stating that trading Bitcoin is like trading freshly harvested baby brains. My brain. How does that even correlate? And Bill Gates stating that he would short Bitcoin if he could. Bill Gates, for the second time in this video, you can short Bitcoin. I know you're not going to be watching this video, but trust me, you can short Bitcoin. It's a thing now. It's December happened. Remember the markets in December? We can short Bitcoin now. I promise you. On the positive side, Facebook launched a new team to build blockchain-based projects. A U.S. congressman described blockchain as world-changing. Ethereum's Casper was released. J.P. Morgan Chase filed a blockchain patent. J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon, now filing a blockchain patent after he just destroyed it. And Goldman Sachs is beginning the process of starting an operation involving cryptocurrency trading. The original movement, Mt. Gox funds, are thought to have kicked off the bear market starting in January of this year. But this time it's different. Institutions are coming to the crypto markets, and how these markets will react to this new movement of funds remains to be unseen. So that's all I have for you today. But let's go ahead and take a walk down the golden coin market path, and we'll check out everything in the red, so everything not doing too well today. We'll check out some of the winners. Dentacoin is the winner today. Huobi token winning. Ox winning, or is that like Theta Chi or something, or I don't know. Maker, Mithril, VeChain, Decred. All winners of the day. Big losers of the day. Nexo, Matrix, Ethos, Augur, Bitcoin Private losing again. That is just getting destroyed. Apparently nobody wants Bitcoin Private. Verge still not doing well. Hey, all you Verge holders, I thought that announcement was supposed to raise the price of Vergecoin. What happened? Well, I wasn't right about that, was I? Is that 36 times being right? Oh, no, Vergecoin. You should have listened. So, again, if you guys don't know about the Vergecoin thing, it's all over my channel a little ways back. But basically, Vergecoin had this secret partnership, and it was exploding the price of Vergecoin. They did a great job with that. They did a great job hyping it. I'm not going to lie on that one. They did a great job. They made their coin go from nothing to way up there by hyping. And I was saying the entire time, if this hype is not real, Vergecoin will die or just remain stagnant. Or if it's super good, then it will go to the moon, if you will. So a lot of people are thinking maybe Amazon, maybe PayPal. Some people were saying that it was going to be this, that, or the other thing. Turned out it was MindGeek, which runs adverts and accepts payments and things like that for various websites. A couple of which are one of which is Pornhub. So they basically partnered with Pornhub, and they went around with a van on Wall Street that said Pornhub, now with Verge on it. But so you might think to yourself, well, that's a great partnership, right? Because that industry is pretty big. Let's get real here, okay? However, first of all, nobody buys a subscription to porn, right? Porn has been free on the internet since like the dawn of the internet. Why would anybody pay? Let's just get real here. Let's put all our cards down on the table. Let's just put them all down. Let's just stop all the betting. Put all our cards down. Nobody pays, right? Why would you? And if a friend came up to me and he was like, you know what I just did yesterday, man? I just got a subscription to Pornhub. And I'd be like, I would have to laugh like real quick, but I'd be serious, right? Because he's my friend, and I'd be like, it's like free, right? It was always free. Like you could just click on whatever you want, and it works, right? And it would just be, I would have to ask so many questions, right? Like, why would you do that? I mean, sure, it's your money, you do what you want, but okay. So let me get off my tirade here. So that means that basically somebody has to get Verge. They have to go and buy Verge from an exchange, which is not always the easiest thing to do, particularly for people who never have dealt with cryptocurrency. If you've never dealt with cryptocurrency, now you need an exchange, you need a wallet, you need all this stuff and you need to research all that. That's going to take hours and hours and hours to research all of that stuff. Now, to people like you and I that are all into crypto, it's just going to take a few minutes to get all that done. But somebody that has never gone into crypto, it's such a pain, right? So if I want a subscription, all I have to do is pull out my debit card or my credit card and type in the number, boom, it's done. And I have the subscription. Congratulations. That's it. So nobody is going to go way, way out of their way to buy Verge, because with a partnership, and people are thinking that this is going to go up in price, people have to buy it, right? People have to be encouraged to buy the crypto, which raises the price. The price of crypto doesn't just raise because you're partnered with somebody, right? It doesn't work like that. Like the price doesn't go up. People have to buy it, right? And nobody's going to go way out of their way. Get a wallet, get an exchange, buy the currency, put their currency on an exchange, which usually takes a few days for your currency to go onto an exchange, like your US dollars or your euros or something like that. Put it onto an exchange, verify your bank account. Then, send the money to the exchange, wait several days, get it on the exchange, then buy Verge, then go to the website. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Then go to the website, then pay with Verge. It's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna do that. So therefore, the price of Verge isn't gonna go anywhere. I know a lot of people fought me on that, but you can't fight that. What I just said there, you can't. It doesn't work, because you're not going to go way out of your way to do that. Maybe people that already had Verge might put some in there, but if you already had Verge and you pay Pornhub for a subscription, that's not going to raise the price of Verge. People have to be encouraged to buy it. So there has to be a lot more innovation than that. So it turned out to be very, very silly, and I've gone on a wild tangent, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please, like and subscribe. And most of all, share the video. That helps YouTubers the most, because when you share the video on social media, maybe you got a few hundred friends or something on Facebook or wherever you share it, hundreds of people are going to see it, and that's going to bring more attention to me, and I really, really appreciate it, because I always see all the shares in the analytics, and I love it when they go up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next time.